What if the secret to living longer wasn't hidden in a pill or a pricey program, just in the small things you do each day? Margaret was 75 when her doctor warned her. Her heart was failing. Her body was slowing down. But instead of giving up, she simply chose to live differently. No dramatic overhaul, no perfection, just better choices, one quiet day at a time. Now, at 84, she wakes up early, tends her garden, laughs more, sleeps deeply, and says she feels more alive than she did 2 decades ago. This video is not about chasing youth. It's about honoring your life, about making gentle, joyful decisions that protect your body, calm your mind, and nourish your soul. You'll discover how simple habits like light meals, soft movement, good sleep, and moments of joy can help you stay strong, grounded, and truly radiant in your later years. You deserve to feel good, to feel seen, to feel proud of the life you've lived and the life still ahead. So if you're ready to take one simple step today, let's walk through it together. Share where you're watching from in the comments, like this video if it speaks to you, and don't forget to subscribe. 1. Start and end the day with purposeful movement. Some mornings feel heavier than others. The body moves more slowly, the bones speak a little louder, and yet deep down, there's still that quiet desire to stay active, to feel alive, to not be left behind by the rhythm of the day. That's why starting and ending the day with purposeful movement isn't just helpful, it's healing. You don't need to lift weights or run marathons to stay healthy, you just need to move with intention. Mornings offer a gentle invitation. Before the phone rings or the day asks anything of you, there's a moment that belongs only to you. Step into it. Stretch your arms with slow, loving awareness. Walk to the mailbox and listen to the birds. Feel the crisp air meeting your skin, the ground steady beneath your feet. That in itself is a kind of blessing. You're moving. You're here. You're choosing to show up for yourself. Evening brings its own kind of stillness. Not the tired kind, but the peaceful one. And in that quiet, your body deserves the same attention. A few seated stretches, a slow turn of the neck, rolling your shoulders. Movements so small they feel like whispers, but powerful enough to release tension and prepare you for rest. The body remembers these gentle acts. It feels safe again. Margaret, the woman we spoke of earlier, begins each morning by sweeping her porch. It isn't exercise, at least not in the usual sense. It's a ritual, a moment where she connects her breath with her body. The bristles of the broom against the wood remind her that she's still here, still capable, still in motion. For her, that porch isn't just a space, it's proof that she's not stuck. And for many older adults, that kind of mental grounding is just as vital as physical strength. In truth, healthy aging doesn't begin in hospitals or supplements. It begins in those everyday movements we so often overlook. Folding laundry with care, reaching up to open a window, rising slowly from a chair and sitting back down again. Every motion sends a message. I still trust my body. I still value my independence. I still matter. And it isn't only about muscle and mobility. Purposeful movement brings mental clarity. It improves mood. It reminds the nervous system that we're not frozen in fear, but gently progressing step by step. The brain responds to that rhythm. The heart beats with more steadiness. And slowly, energy returns, not in bursts, but in quiet strength. Your body, no matter its age or shape, has carried you through more than most people know. Through joy, through grief, through silence, through celebration. It deserves kindness, it deserves attention, not punishment or comparison, but gentle companionship. And the best way to give that is to keep moving, on your own terms. So when the day begins, gift yourself 10 minutes, not as a chore, but as a choice. A walk to your garden, a sweep of the kitchen floor, a simple sway to the music of your youth. And when night comes, honor the end of your day with a moment of stillness that helps your body let go. These aren't workouts, they're small promises, repeated daily, that you still believe in your future. Your body listens to the way you treat it, and with each intentional movement it quietly responds, thank you. 2. Eat light, colorful, and early. It's easy to forget how much food shapes how we feel, not just physically but emotionally too. For many seniors, Eating has slowly turned into a routine instead of a ritual, but bringing life back to the table doesn't take a dramatic change. It simply begins with the choice to eat light, colorful, and early. Your plate doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to be full of life. As we grow older, our digestive system becomes more sensitive. Meals that once gave us energy may now leave us feeling sluggish or uncomfortable, especially when eaten too late in the day. Heavy dinners can steal our sleep. Rushed meals can leave us disconnected from the very nourishment we need. The body wants peace, not pressure. So the shift starts gently. Think of your plate as a palette: soft greens, warm oranges, calming browns, vegetables, fruits, soft grains, and protein that's easy to digest. A bowl of warm soup with carrots and lentils, a piece of toast with almond butter, or some oatmeal with cinnamon and berries. These foods don't just feed the body, they calm the mind. Margaret made this change slowly. She began with smaller portions and earlier dinners. Now she calls it her sunset meal, a quiet moment just before dusk, where she turns off the TV, lights a small candle, and eats with intention. No rushing, no distractions, just presence. That habit alone helped her sleep better and wake up lighter. Eating early gives the body time to rest and reset. It reduces bloating, supports heart health, and helps regulate blood sugar. Small shifts, with big effects on how long and how well we live. It also changes our relationship with food. We stop chasing flavor as a distraction and begin to appreciate it as a form of care. Using smaller plates can be a helpful trick, not for restriction, but to naturally remind yourself that less can be more. Chew slowly. Take notice of texture, temperature, and the comfort that comes from warm meals. These small acts are forms of emotional grounding. They tell your nervous system, you are safe, you are cared for, and this moment is enough. Gratitude turns even the simplest meal into a celebration. And yes, joy matters too. If dessert brings you a little spark of happiness, enjoy it. Just let it be intentional. Let it be a small ceremony, not a distraction. A piece of dark chocolate on a quiet evening can be far more healing than mindless snacking out of boredom. Food in its purest form is one of the few things that touches every part of us, body, mind, spirit. And when we eat with awareness, we reconnect with the rhythm of life. Our meals become a message to ourselves. You still matter. You're still worth caring for. For those who live alone, this habit becomes even more powerful. It breaks the monotony of silence. It adds structure to the day. It gives us a reason to pause, to prepare, to nourish. Eating well isn't about strict rules. It's about making room on your plate and in your life for balance, color, and calm. Your digestive health is closely tied to your emotional well-being. When your gut feels good, your mood lifts. When your meals are light, your sleep deepens. And when your choices are intentional, your life, quietly but surely, lengthens. So let your next meal be a soft reset. Let it nourish more than your hunger. Let it remind you that you are still choosing life one bite at a time. 4. Stay social, even in small ways. Some people think growing older means growing quieter, but the truth is the heart never loses its need for connection, the need to be heard, to be seen, to be remembered. That's why staying social, even in small ways, matters more than ever. We weren't made to age in silence. Isolation, especially in older adults, shortens lifespan, increases illness, and dims the light inside us. But the antidote is simple: connection. It doesn't have to be grand or complicated. A phone call to your cousin, a short visit to your neighbor's porch, a smile was exchanged with someone at the market. These gentle acts are like soul vitamins. Margaret, as she often does, found her own quiet way. Every Sunday she puts out 3 chairs on her porch. No invitation, no obligation. Whoever passes by is welcome to sit and sip tea. Sometimes it's an old friend, sometimes a curious neighbor, and sometimes just the breeze. But that act, that intention, tells her body and mind, you are still part of something. For many seniors, socializing can feel harder with time. Maybe friends have moved away, maybe energy is lower, maybe confidence isn't what it used to be. But even if you're shy or haven't reached out in a while, you can begin again. Start with something small. Say hello to someone you see often but never speak to. Ask a question, offer a compliment, Walk by a local community center or library. See if there's a group that meets weekly. It might feel awkward at first, but that passes. What stays is the warmth, the reminder that you're still connected to the world around you. Social health is emotional fuel. It keeps your mind alert, your heart engaged, and your spirit grounded. Studies have shown that meaningful interaction helps prevent cognitive decline, eases depression, and even strengthens the immune system. But beyond the science, it just feels good. To laugh with someone, to share a memory, to hear another voice. That isn't coming from a screen. That feeling of being emotionally anchored, it's more powerful than any supplement. You don't need a large circle. You just need consistency. A few voices who know your name, a few smiles that remind you. You matter. Even writing letters, sending voice messages, or joining online communities designed for seniors can rebuild the bridge of connection. The digital world, when used with intention, can bring warmth into your space too. Margaret often says the greatest medicine she ever found wasn't in a bottle, it was in a conversation. She believes that when we talk, we release something inside us. Not just words, but weight. The burdens feel lighter, the joys feel bigger, and the ordinary feels meaningful. You are never too old to make a new friend. You are never too late to reconnect. Whether it's over tea, a shared book, or a walk in the park, your presence enriches the world around you. And even if no one says it aloud, you are deeply needed. So let yourself belong again. Let someone know you're thinking of them. Let your voice be heard, even softly. Longevity is about more than just living long. It's about feeling alive while doing so. And that kind of vitality often comes from the simplest source, another human being. So open your door, your heart, or even just your eyes. Someone is probably waiting to connect with you too, and together you'll find that aging with warmth, friendship, and community is one of the most powerful ways to live a long, beautiful life. 5. Learn something new every week. Some days feel repetitive, as if time is quietly slipping past. The routines are the same, the conversations familiar, and the hours blend into one another. That's why learning something new every week becomes more than just an activity. It becomes a way to wake the mind, to give shape to the days, and to bring small sparks of curiosity back into everyday life. "Isn't it too late to learn?" someone asked Margaret once. She just smiled and showed them her crossword puzzles, her poetry notebook, and her new favorite podcast. Her eyes lit up not because she was trying to impress anyone, but because she had found something that made her feel alive again. Learning isn't about classrooms or certificates. It's about keeping your brain soft and your spirit open. It's a quiet form of self-respect. When you give yourself permission to learn, you remind your mind that it still has purpose, that your story isn't done yet. Whether it's a new recipe, a short documentary, or simply figuring out how to write your thoughts in a journal, each small effort builds emotional resilience. It teaches the brain to adapt, to grow new patterns, to stay engaged with life. And that kind of mental stimulation is one of the most protective habits for aging with strength and clarity. Margaret didn't set out to master anything. She just followed her curiosity. One week she borrowed a library book about bird migration. Another week she tried coloring with her granddaughter. None of it was perfect, and that was never the point. What mattered was the joy of trying, the softness of starting again, the pleasure of realizing you can still be surprised by yourself. For many seniors, the fear of not doing something right keeps them from doing it at all. But that fear fades when joy takes the lead. You don't have to be good, you just have to be willing. Every time you learn, your brain lights up. It rewires itself, forming new connections, building a kind of quiet strength that protects you from mental decline. And beyond biology, it creates meaning. It gives the day a center, a reason to get up, to explore, to talk to someone about what you just discovered. Emotional grounding doesn't always come from deep conversations. It often begins with a spark of wonder. That sense of, "I didn't know that," followed by, "What else could I discover?" And the beautiful part, you get to choose what matters to you. Maybe it's music, maybe it's plants, maybe it's learning the names of the stars you see from your back porch. It doesn't have to serve a purpose. The act of learning itself is the purpose. It's how you remind yourself you're still here, still growing, still changing. And that reminder is powerful. It reshapes your self-worth from the inside out. It builds emotional independence and a deeper form of peace. Because you're no longer waiting for someone else to give your day meaning. You've given it to yourself. Margaret often says that every time she learns something new, she feels like a door opens inside her. Not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet click, and suddenly the world feels bigger. That sense of expansion, even in later life, is what keeps us emotionally vibrant. It keeps us connected to ourselves. It's how we move from simply existing to fully living. So whatever your pace, whatever your interest, give yourself that chance. Let your curiosity be your compass. Let wonder become your habit. Because the more curious you are, the longer you'll feel truly alive. And in the end, that's not just how you extend your life, it's how you enrich it. Quietly, joyfully, one new discovery at a time. 6. Reconnect with what brings you joy. Some mornings begin with silence, not the peaceful kind, but the kind that feels a little too empty. The world moves more slowly, and the hours stretch longer than they used to. That's why it matters, now more than ever, to reconnect with what brings you joy. Not the loud, overwhelming kind of joy that demands attention, but the quiet kind. The kind that tiptoes into your day through small moments and familiar comforts. What's the point of living longer, if not to feel joy? Margaret found hers in the garden. She hums old hymns as she tends to her roses, her fingers gently brushing petals, her heart a little lighter with every bloom. It's not about doing something impressive. It's about doing something that brings you back to yourself. Maybe for you it's the sound of water boiling for tea. Maybe it's the feeling of dough in your hands as you bake a simple loaf of bread. Or the calm of painting, even if no one sees the canvas but you. These small pleasures, when repeated with care, become rituals. And those rituals become reasons to keep waking up with a soft kind of hope. Joy, when invited daily, becomes a quiet form of emotional grounding. It reduces stress, supports immune health, and helps regulate the nervous system. But beyond the science, joy reminds you that you are still a living, breathing, feeling soul. That despite the changes aging brings, aches, losses, slower steps, there is still beauty left in your days. Sometimes more beauty now, because you know how precious it is. You know not to rush it. You've learned to notice it. And joy doesn't have to mean busy schedules or big plans. It can be a moment in the sun, a handwritten letter, a favorite song from your younger years. It can be sitting by the window, remembering someone you loved, and smiling because the memory feels warm, not painful. It's the decision to fill your space with things that bring you peace, soft colors, warm light, maybe the scent of lavender or cinnamon in the air. These aren't decorations. They are signals to your nervous system that you are safe, that this life is still yours and it still has meaning. Margaret often says that the biggest shift came not from trying to be happy, but from letting herself feel good. That distinction changed everything. She stopped chasing productivity. She stopped asking herself what she should do. Instead, she began each day with a softer question. What would make me feel truly alive today? Some days, the answer is music. Other days, it's a nap under a blanket she knitted herself. The point isn't the activity. The point is permission, the quiet freedom to let joy guide your choices. For so many older adults, life has become about survival, taking pills, avoiding falls, managing checklists. But a long life without joy is just an extended time. What gives time meaning is emotional richness, and what creates emotional richness is presence. Being fully in the moment, allowing yourself to enjoy something simply because it brings you light. So let joy become your daily practice. Let it be simple, sacred, and yours. You don't have to earn it, you don't have to explain it. Just follow the small things that soften your heart. Because the truth is, joy doesn't just make life better, it helps you live longer, with more peace, more strength, and more quiet moments where you remember who you really are. And that, in the end, is the kind of living that lasts. Living longer isn't just about adding years, it's about adding life to your years. Every habit, we've shared today is simple but deeply powerful. When you move with care, eat with gratitude, rest with intention, connect with others, stay curious and make room for joy, you give your body and mind the fuel they need to thrive. These aren't just health tips, they're emotional grounding. Habits, they help you feel safe, centered, and full of quiet strength. No matter your age or where you're starting, it's never too late to create a life filled with peace, purpose, and energy. So ask yourself gently, what can I do today to take better care of myself? We'd love to hear your story. Which of these habits have helped you feel better, think clearly, or smile more? Share in the comments. We read everyone. And if this video spoke to you, please like it and subscribe for more ways to live longer, live better, and stay emotionally strong.